Hello again, folks. Now, normally I'd say welcome back to the train room, but it's been a while. It's been a fair few months because we moved home, and we've moved to a real doer-upper. And I've had a very interesting 4 months because we moved into our new home, which, as I say, we literally had no kitchen, did have a bathroom and a bedroom that we could sleep in, but a real doer-upper. It's going to be lovely, and I'm going to end up with a lot bigger train room. I think I mentioned that, but unfortunately, 2 weeks after we'd moved in, I'm 64 years of age and have been lucky to be fit all my life, and I had a heart attack brought on by the COVID jab. So spent some time in hospital seeing if, because they didn't realise it was a COVID jab for a start off, that put me there. But I've cycled most of my life, and as a cyclist of my age, coffee and cake was very much a big part of it. Anyway, we're over that now. So, the reason I say that, I thought, was I thin on the outside and not so thin on the inside? But no, all the arteries are good and everything. It was just literally down to the COVID jab. Anyway, enough of that little hiccup. So, I haven't as yet got a training room, although we are getting on reasonably well with the house. So, I'm going to, over the next couple of weeks, turn one of the spare bedrooms into a train room, because unfortunately the Emmet layout got a little bit damp. The people that moved it for me basically didn't make a very good job of it, and they certainly didn't tell me. They charged rather a lot of money, and they didn't tell me that they were keeping it under a cover outside. So it's going to need a little bit of work. I was honest, I was quite down about it, and I did at one point think I wasn't going to carry on with it. But as I say, it's got my mojo back, and I am going to sort of repair it. Anyway, what have I been doing? I've started again. The engine going round here, I'm going to bring this to a stop now. You've all seen before. But the little truck on the back is what I thought I would start with. I was reading something, reading a magazine, I think, about, believe it or not, that's going to sound wrong, this is toilets. And basically of course I didn't know, but there was a book there on trains, and it was a very unusual book, and I quite like sort of nonsense books, unusual books, or I've got books on letterboxes around the UK, old telephone boxes around the UK, the sort of stuff that not a lot of people really are interested in reading. But I was reading one, and it said that toilets were added to the trains in the late 1800s because of the long journeys. Now, I won't go into too much detail because they were very, very basic, and I think anybody who used them, I think is probably quite well known. Sorry, I'm just standing up. It landed really on the track. So that got me thinking, and I had this little one of Michael Rayner's wagons. It's one of his wonderful kits, and I have spoken to him. I do love my conversations with Michael. I always get some sandwiches and a cup of tea because he is just fantastic. He just talks and talks, and he has so much knowledge on the Emmet. So let me see if I can get in a little bit closer. Apologies for the bedroom stuff. I think in there you can, just above his head, see the toilet cistern, chain flush, and probably you can see he is actually sitting on I believe it's called a high level cistern toilet. I've made a little table there. We've got a few newspapers, and yeah, he's reading his newspaper as he and looking out of the back of the what should we call this? Well, Thunderbox. That's what I've called it, the Thunderbox. I am going to put a door on there, and one of my friends on Facebook has told me a very clever trick that he thinks will work with a vibrating phone device, and hopefully we'll be able to get the doors wobbling with that. Maybe even, I'm not sure about opening. I'd just be quite happy if it wobbled. I have got this little thing on the back there that rocks backwards and forwards. Quite pleased with that, and because you know most Emmet stuff, well, it's got quite a lot of movement in it. So what else can I tell you about this? Not a lot really. I have got, as I say, definitely got my mojo back. I've got quite a number of ideas now for different wagons. Some of them out of my favourite go-to book, The Early Morning Milk Train, and some just out of my own head really. Yeah, so I just wanted to put a little clip on to say that I hadn't disappeared, and I will be doing more. Thank you ever so much, because I have now, I think, got 1,000 followers apparently, according to my son, which I'm very, very flattered. I am going to say a huge thank you to Bob Downs. If any of you like what I do, please check out Bob's Tippy Ashwood. It is one of the most beautiful little railways. Bob lives quite a long way away from me, the other side of the world. But I think he's got a number of hobbies, and one of them's the restoration of cars. But Tippy Ashwood, if you get the chance, do have a look. It certainly keeps me going. It was a huge comfort to me while I was in hospital. I, watched his YouTube channel an awful lot. Anyway, waffling on as I normally do. Sorry if I'm repeating myself again. And yeah, I hope you like this little truck. As I say, there'll be a lot more to follow. Happy modelling, folk.